Guys, just recording this session a little early before you guys came in, just because I do have a flight to catch later on, and just want to be prepared for it. But SPX, I do want to mention some things today, and we'll go over some account management as well, based on some DMs that I got. Number one, volatility trigger is at 4135. So these are the SPX gamma levels which I look at each morning. They're based off of data, the options that, as we all know, and volatility trigger sits at 4135. So as long as we hold above this 4135, so as long as we hold above 4135, right, case remains to upside. All right, and then if we're under 4135, we can see some weakness. All right, because this is where dealers will switch hands here. So this is a very important level, 4135, because we're right around it. All right, futures last night, they were up, they were a little bouncy, I believe, and now we're slightly red, but near flattish for now, unless things change by 9:30, 9 o'clock. All right, so 4135 is what I'm looking for. And apart from this, if I remove all these drawings and this, let's just go over the monthly. Also, before I go over the monthly, do note that I got this 8 and 21 EMAs here. The green is 8 EMA, the orange is 21 EMA. These averages work great sometimes when there's a trend change. All right, but I would not call this a trend change, but this is something to note, right? We might retest the 21 EMA if we do go lower today, and watch the bounce on the 21 EMA if it holds or not. All right, that will be your first signal. Okay, if we break it, then we got the 8 EMA. If we come underneath, then all this gets avoided, then we're probably going to see much lower, I believe, in the coming days. And monthly closings, so let's just go with the monthly closings today. And as you can see here, and again, 8 and 21 EMA on the monthly, if you guys look at it, they're pretty accurate, they're not bad. And here on the monthly, we can see that we flushed below the 21 EMA. So we did come below the 21 EMA on the monthly, and then we're above it. So today, do we close underneath it or do we hold above it? The 21 EMA I have here on TradingView is 41.14, and sometimes I notice these numbers on different platforms change by a little bit, right? So do know this. So the 21 EMA that we have is 41.14, and let's see if we can hold above it all day today. And this on the monthly can be categorized as a reversal candle for the next month. Maybe it holds, and then we'll see what happens after that. All right, but a closing underneath the 80 EMA is the first bearish signal. Now let's see if we can get below the 21 EMA. But again, if I take these averages out, which I usually don't look at, very rarely do I look at them, right? We do have the monthly 50 and 200 EMA, which I give more preference to. So in the coming months, I do think we see lower. Let's see. But for now, we did touch 38.50. That was our first target from the last few months. And one thing I want to go over, guys, is account risk management. The reason I say this, or I mention this a lot for the last 2 years, is because I personally myself have learned this the very hard way in the market. I paid a big price for this, and I'm very transparent about it. I don't have any ego of saying I'm the best or anything like that, none of that. I've lost a lot of money in the markets, right? Even after so much experience, I do make mistakes. I go down sometimes, but that's part of the market. That's where it is. But overall, one thing that I learned, if you want to survive in this game, is risk management. You can take an account from 100K to a million. That doesn't matter. But the question is, can you consistently keep up with it? Right? Can you have a consistent growth for the coming years? Can you last in the game? That's something I learned the very hard way. That's the reason I trade very small these days, right? Because small gains add up to a lot. And again, the more cash you have in your account, the market will allow you to stay in the game. Okay, keep that in mind. So consistency is really important when it comes to this. And so if you have a $10,000 account, for my own safety, I want to have $9,500 cash at all times. At all times, because that $500, if I'm trading options, the market can take a turn in the next 5 minutes. There could be a huge squeeze or a huge opposite direction of your play. You're right away down $500, right? So you want to have as much cash as you can in your account and then slowly build that up. And you know what? $500 in options can go a long way. In our group, every week we see $500 turn into 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, so not, right? So you don't have to trade big. If you want to trade big on this 10,000, I hope you have a very good job or business that you will be able to put more $10,000 without having to feel nothing, right? Then yes, I understand that you're taking 3K risks. Fine, that's your risk appetite. You know, you can absorb it. You have additional income. Maybe you're a risk guy. Is different. But risk management is very, very important in this market. And then obviously if you're scalping or swinging, how you manage your positions, that's a whole different skill set. It takes time to learn. It's not something that you learn overnight or in one day. Personally, I paid a heavy price for this. trust me. And I laugh about it because I learned, and I'm happy that I paid it in my the young years rather than in the older years, because I know I'm going to be doing great later on, right? But ever since I've been following this risk management on my own, the however long, it works. It's the best thing that anyone can tell you. Trust me, right? You can be more right than me, but if your risk management is off, I will be doing much better than you. All right. So you have to manage your account, right? It doesn't matter who you are. The account management is must. If you don't manage it, the market will punish you. It will teach you over and over again until you learn. All right. So that's one thing from my side. And let's see what we have. And then we also NQ, similar action on the daily. It was very strong last week, right? And let's see where it goes from here. And my top side target in SPX that I'm expecting, if I go on the daily charts, it's roughly 4,300. At 4,300, I want to scale in towards the short side. All right. So roughly this zone right here. Does it have to be 4,300 exact? No, it does not have to be 4,300 exact. It could be 4,250, 4,300, 4,350. And if we start holding above those levels and the data changes, and if I need to buy the $4,500 calls, I will switch and buy the $4,500 calls if I have to then. But personally, I'm waiting for this zone if we can get there and see. And today I do have a flight, so I will leave early, just letting you guys know. That's the reason I'm covering this a little bit early. And Tesla, I believe, is green in pre-market, and we're just approaching the 21 EMA. Tesla at 765 will be very hard resistance. I'll write this down for you guys. So 765 will be very hard, right? And under 765, you can actually play for a retest of 730 or even 700 on Tesla. All right. On the weekly and the monthly, let's see how it looks. And I posted a lot of information over the weekend on the gamma exposure and many other things. Those things require a lot of time. They require a lot of a very deep understanding, right? You can understand gamma, but gamma exposure, all those things, I posted enough links, enough studies. I've actually read all those. I read them again before posting them to make sure that I'm posting something that I find useful. So go over them. If you scroll up in Discord, it's up to you to put the hard work in and understand the data and the flow. Then you will understand why these candles happen on certain names. You will actually have the reason though. Excuse me. You will have the reasons of why these certain moves happen. Like this big green candle in Tesla, I know why it happened, right? But somebody who's going to look out and say he might not know, he might based on this candle just go along. But I know why this candle happened, right? So these things will matter a lot, right? So let's just look at the monthly chart. I think the monthly might be the same as SPX almost pretty much. So we're right above the 21 EMA. So we might hold these levels for some time, consolidate for a month or two, and then maybe we see lower, right? And my bias for the coming months is to a downside. Can it be wrong? Absolutely. Maybe we start going towards all-time highs from here, okay? And then I will change accordingly. But this is based on the macro understanding I have as of now. Unless Fed changes something tomorrow, something happens, then it's a different view altogether. All right. And I see some people watching already. I haven't posted the link yet, but guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you are. And Neo Morgan Stanley upgraded, and this has some good things regarding a tactical idea for China, right? Usually when they start giving this kind of news on these bounces, they might want to get out of a position, so keep that in mind. So play smart, think smart. Don't believe everything Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, or JPM say. All right, usually is to shift around the funds for themselves. So Neo can put in the bottom. It can see $24 as a level, and at 24 I would probably short this again. So Neo, keep an eye on it. Morgan Stanley pushing us some positive stuff on it. Zoom got some upgrades this morning on the monthly. We do have a reversal candle in the making. Wow. So we can definitely test this zone on 160 on Zoom. This is one stock I do want to short. I think I'll wait because it is strong for now. If we can get this zone right here, 160, Zoom can be a great short around 150, 160. Keep that in mind, guys. Amazon, I'm going over monthly candles. We are under the 50 MA, so if we do close under the 50 MA on the monthly, that's not good. That's actually going to be bearish. In order to close above it today, Amazon also almost needs to run 150 points, which I think is very unlikely. But who has seen until 4 p.m. and this is a very wow. So this is how you know that the market is not good. After a long time, we're closing under the 50 MA on Amazon. So be careful for the coming months. Any bounce towards 25, 2600, I will use as an opportunity to short. On the weekly, Amazon will look great. And as you zoom out to further time frames, you will understand. You will see that, oh no, it actually does not look good. So we might retest the $2,500 level in the coming days. There's no doubt. I'm open to this idea. If we retest this zone right here, roughly this zone right here, I will take some shorts in Amazon. And again, depends on the market if we do have any news or any other factors coming out at that time. And we do have June OPEX on June 16th. That's the date, right? And then on the Wednesday, we do have the VIX expiry. All right. So make sure you guys keep this in mind. So we have these June OPEX on Friday, third week. And then we have the VIX on Wednesday, I believe. I have to confirm this date, but yeah, it should be Wednesday morning, right? And usually into VIX, we run in, and so make sure you guys go back in May, and then April, March, see how we behaved on these dates. There is a lot of volatility to be that we can take advantage of. All right, and with this, I will end it, guys. Just remember what I said: account management. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You might hit some plays which might make you rich, but for consistency, management will be required. Discipline will be required. God bless. I'll see you guys in the chat.